We're talking Championship relegation now. Who's getting relegated from the Championship into League One in this 2013-14 season? I looked at the odds and they had Yeovil in this list. Yeovil in the Championship. Imagine that. How ridiculous would that be? But it's true. They really are in the Championship. It really did happen. They did get promoted to the second tier. Extraordinary. I think when I was a kid, they were in the 45th tier. But yeah, great achievement. Yeovil, quick thoughts on the 11 to 10 best price to get relegated. You look at that and you think, oh, that's 20 points adrift. What do you think?
No, I'm not buying it myself actually. Look at the stats, only 4 promoted clubs have been relegated in their first Championship season in the past 11 seasons. That's a positive. Another positive is Gary Johnson in charge. I think he's a shrewd manager, he knows the league as well, he knows Yeovil, he knows what they require. I certainly wouldn't be interested in that 11 to 10 or odds on quotes, as they are pretty much across the board really as well, to see them go down. They are the smallest club I think ever to play in the Championship, but
what a story.
It'd be such a fairy tale to see them promoted, see them stay up. But yeah, I'm not interested in that.
I think Barnsley will just be delighted. They're no favourites for the first time in about a century. So they'll probably go down now, won't they, Barnsley? But you've not gone with Barnsley.
No.
And you've picked 3 sides. And you've got a side that are up first who were in the Premier League, I think 3 seasons ago. Who?
Blackpool.
Yeah.
Big negative energy, atmosphere, whatever you want to describe at Blackpool at the moment. Although a little bit like Coventry in League One, the value has gone a little bit from Blackpool to be relegated 7-2 from 6-1, and it's all down to these bad vibes we're hearing. The chairman Carl Oyston's getting a lot of grief from supporters for the lack of investment in that squad. Wafer thin squad at the moment. He decided to actually head off on holiday a couple of weeks ago, right in the middle of the summer season when transfers and contracts need to be signed. Paul Ince has been actually critical as well. He actually fielded 11 trialists in a friendly in pre-season. That's how thin their squad is. On paper, defence and midfield looks like it's okay, but there's a woeful lack of cover and experience. Baptiste, Erdley and Craney amongst those who have left. Ince Jr. as well has been looking like he could go. I wouldn't be surprised if he does go as well. And actually a really interesting stat from Dave Simmons on Twitter as well on Junior Ince. He scored 17 in 30 games before his dad took charge. After his dad took charge, he scored once in 14 games. The pitch resembles the beach half a mile away. There's a lot of negatives around Blackpool at the moment. They'll struggle at 7-2. I've got them for relegation.
Cool. Second team lost a manager over the summer. He sacked of the
mutual.
That was a bit harsh, really. Millwall.
Yeah. I think with Kenny Jackett, I think the deal was that fans and Kenny himself thought we've been here together for a long time. We've probably gone as far as we can go, and I think that's respect for Kenny Jackett for taking Millwall to those levels and saying I've kept you here. It's over to Steve Lomas now, and I think I'm not really sure. I don't really follow Scottish football that in depth, so I don't really know. I like what he's tried to do actually, and replace Chris Wood and Darius Henderson, which is the big issue Millwall had last season. He brought in Steve Morrison, an old boy, as well as Scott McDonald, whose time at Middlesbrough didn't seem to go to plan, as a new strike force. They've also brought in Nicky Bailey, I think is a good midfielder at this level. But the thing is, can they emulate the likes of Wood and Henderson last year? Because under them they scored 18 of Millwall's 51 goals. That's 35% of Millwall's goals last season came from Wood and Henderson, and they both left before the end of January. After they left, they went 1-4, drawn 3, lost 12, picked up 15 points after they left. That's relegation form, and for me at 9-2, that's a bet for Millwall.
Millwall, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And your final pick.
You've just seen the team now. You've just thought straight
away. I immediately thought Fat Goth. Fat Goth. The Fat Goth, as we call him here in We Love Betting, Dave Jones. It's quite an irritating guy, really. Let's be honest. When you hear him in his post-match interviews, he's always moaning about referees, moaning about someone. Just take the feet on the chin, man. So we've coined him the Fat Goth, because if you look really close, he looks like he's wearing an eyeliner, which is quite unusual for a guy, a fat guy, and he's probably his mid-50s now. But anyway. Sheffield Wednesday are 6-1 to get relegated. Mark, you think that's a good bet? Why?
This bet is purely down to price at 6-1, and seeing Sheffield Wednesday where they are in the betting heats. We've talked about unfashionable clubs, and it seems to have a bearing, I think, on prices and markets. I've ignored clubs like Barnsley and Huddersfield, who are priced shorter, because I think there's renewed vigour and optimism surrounding both of those clubs. This really was a toss-up between Charlton, Burnley or Sheffield Wednesday.
Charlton? Wow.
Yeah, I've chosen Wednesday at 6-1 because I think they're a better, and I think they deserve to be shorter, and I think they deserve to be lower down in the pyramid than the likes of Barnsley and Huddersfield after the summer transfer business as we are today. Okay, they finished last season very, very well, and you lost 6 games from mid-December. Fine form, but there's been nothing to write home about out of their summer transfers. For me, the squad's still short on quality, filled with very workmanlike players. I think another relegation fight beckons here without proper strengthening and without a striker as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm not very, very strong. I found it hard to find a third team here to go with Millwall and Blackpool, but if I had to, gun to my head, it's Sheffield Wednesday at 6-1,
Cool.
purely on price.
Sure. So Millwall, Blackpool, Sheffield Wednesday.